Mhm. Okay, fumble them. Una ado. This na exactly 10:30. We sorry for the, I mean, for starting late because we not announced to una say we start by 10:25. But we sorry for that. We've been get some technical issues. But anyway, the most important thing, we are live. We are live, and then we dey come discuss within we been promised una say we get for can discuss. And this na Cycle John Barry, and this na the Then and Now program. So una stay tuned, una stay connected. Okay, fumble them. This na Cycle John Barry again. I think say after a like maybe brief break, but una know now the Agbana make man be lost a bit from una. But today, as we've been promised, una say we get for can discuss on the US visa restriction, or you call it ban, anyhow you call them, on individuals where the United States feel say they're responsible or they involved for undermine democracy in Sierra Leone. So, but today, me and the CEO of the Then and Now, and we get for can discuss issues them about relating to that. But with me today, na Prince Crewman. Prince Crewman, you are welcome.
Um, Sekou John, many thanks. And to Fambulem, both at home and abroad, in the near and in the far, I want to say warm greetings to Una. And like Una, you read the opening statement, we are going to be having this conversation on a very sincere note. As Una don't come for Northern and our media, we try for be as objective as we can. The thing with Kilena we doorstep or we foot. Now, because we are critical of government, then they say we belong. But I don't think this is the case. But anyway, it's another story. Sekou John.
Okay, thank you so much. Fumble them again. I want to remind una say una the watch the Then and Now program. This is from the media empire. And again, like I said earlier on, was yesterday we see where the U.S. Secretary of State, where they call Anthony Blinken, he makes statements like announcing, say, the government of the United States, they introduce or they come like impose some travel ban on certain individuals, Sierra Leoneans, the more responsible for undermining democracy in Sierra Leone. And all these actions come as a result of the just concluded elections wey happened in June 24th, 2023. Una all know say a lot of alaala don come after. We know they talk about wetin happened before. We dey talk about after the announcement of the result. During the process, we see where the opposition up to date, they no gree go na parliament because they say them believe say the results na a cooked up one, not to the actual the result not reflect the desire and the aspirations of Sierra Leoneans. So then say that, and now we get the EU, then get the own issue, then get the own concern, where then say then with the Carter Center and now other civil society group when this we one of we local Sierra Leone civil society organization, they all say well then get issue with the tabulation, especially in the regional center. The accusations them been they come back and forth where people them in this talk say well they not be even done for count the results na the regional centers. Then the chief electoral commissioner when at the boss of the election body, when at the ECSL, then call him Mohammed Kone, then say announce the result. So anyway, people, some man not been believe say President Madabio win, like at that first voting self. Some man been they say, well, then for don't go second rounds, then thing in the but however, the government then say no. Of course, ECSL say President Bio win, and then now SLPP say no, them win the elections. But we see the standoff there already between the Sierra Leone government and the opposition, or let's say the opposition say back they not get problem with the government, the SLPP. Then get issue with ECSL. So we see now that back and forth day, and now we don't see what in don't happen. Where na a travel ban or visa restrictions, meaning this what in this mean the individuals them way the US feel say then hand they pan let's say on this manipulation of voter results or the elections results. Then say again anybody the one the way involved in well intimidation, violence, and then act then they all. Then say the one the way then feel say they involved, then people and they undermine democracy, and therefore the weapon we then get for now, we then decide for use against them people and they and for say, okay, you know what? We know they give una visa for Canada, the United States. So na in na that action day because some man not been believe say well we don't see boku attack them now we okay we the US ambassador. I don't know whether it don't go now, but it been supposed to go and new one come. We see where he come talk openly, you know hide, you know afraid anybody. He can't talk, waiting in feel about the elections result, about all waiting don't happen. We see where them it be they come under serious attack. Okay, but now we don't see now waiting don't happen. Then don't take because this is now US policy, not just Salon no more. Any side, any country where America feel say, okay, this country are then not what you think or you the supporter. No, not what you think. Now then your standard, then get a set standard where then they operate on. If they feel say Wuna na that country they, especially the leaders them way they in charge of electoral processes, Wuna not meet that standard day. Again, maybe if they try for engage una back, una begin make some kind arrogance and other thing. Or say, okay, no, this is not right. This is not to what you agree on. Not this not to the standard. Then, if they see say una not meet that standard day, the first step like where they normally can take. You know me saying that step they no more. Maybe other one day because this the lady talking this morning. So but the first step then don't engage and see how whether for do certain things if that they not work then go say okay you know what these individuals they were would they give them visa what is would they restrict them or would they ban them for Canada the United States. So now again the US announced in the statement it been clear where they issue that statement the policy on Sierra Leone and then make am clear. And this morning back, the lady wey talk from the embassy, e make am clear say this not against Sierra Leoneans them for say the ordinary Sierra Leoneans them or for say like okay if you individual you wan go maybe you wan go America because of you na Sierra Leone. No, it's not about una the ordinary Sierra Leoneans, the ordinary people them, not una. If una you get genuine program for go America, you dey go na the embassy, then they give you visa. The ban is now for then the target individuals were involved in the whole election process where them believe, not what you believe, you the supporter. Now where then the Americans them then believe say that individual or those individuals are responsible or like then take part in accomplices, then they part and parcel of the one the way they undermine democracy based on the facts the information and the fact back way day in front of them. Maybe then go don't do due diligence, then go don't find out, then go don't check, then don't cross-check certain information. So based on that, now in then go target the individuals that day. So not to because government don't come, maybe one minister don't come begin talk about sovereignty, the other one can write about this or that. No, not to that then they watch. Then they watch the actual fact, not to watching some man they spin and twist here, twist over and no, not to that then they watch. Now the fact, what actually happened, the evidence where they before them. Now based on that, then they take this kind of action. So I don't know. I know say Prince get a lot of things for talk about. Over to you, Prince.
Yes, indeed, Sekou John, many thanks and massive greetings to we followers them globally. Thousands of Una. I mean, without Una, we cannot be. Okay, Una Sekou John has made a brilliant case. And this is what brilliant people do. Lay waste the case, what the case is. I not need for go over that any longer, but just a couple of 2-3 key points, and I won't be long for we dealing with that. I want to begin on the premise with elections in terms of irregularities or fraudulent actions, then get consequence or consequences. If I can pluralize them. Yes, oh yes, they do. And the fact that we live in a global village and we as the disadvantage in terms of this global village, because let's face it, I like the fact that people can come out of their shell and try to be realist. Typical example, I'm a pragmatist. I believe in reality. And a reality now out of the now they are in the talk. So what we do know is that there are questions around the recently held elections na Salone. And as they approach a little bit over 2 months, up till now, those questions are being asked. And we moral guarantors them. Where officials of government, politicians are trying to play us up against. They are similarly asking the questions. And remember, say Fambulem, when we hold the elections the last time, we be invite other people and for come monitor we elections. Because for put them again straightforward, we're not mature enough for hold we own elections where it will come out as being free and fair. So we call other people and say, but una can't referee these elections for we. Una can't be between we and group A and group B. Because if you left to we own team the normal, we will just destroy ourselves. And the other people that we call, by extension, the international community, they get incentive day, they get stake day. Because why? They have invested in a process. Not very long ago, Fambulem, in our own lifetime, we see what happen in our country in which we try for self-destruct through the same political issue that we talk about today. A certain group of individuals, them or party, hold an entire country in a ransom. And for free the country for that ransom day, because internally it may almost virtually impossible. So people then go on for employ different methods for try for see whether they go arrive at an outcome where it will be suitable for the country. And yes, they did fumble. So when they try and they begin for make gains, but the gains were not easy enough for capitalize on because would have ever been in a government, and they talk about the Joseph Saidu Momo government, we don't consolidate himself so much in power that a force needed for come up from outside. Hence, we saw the coup of Valentine Strasser, Marabio, Kombamonde, and many others. Because it could not work from the inside, it had to come from the outside. Now, similar thing now we see for the face on our country today. In other words, whilst that was a military coup, this one looked like an institutional coup, because the nation went into an elections. A government or the incumbent try for sanitize that election process day for make it appear like say it get all the hallmark of fairness openness, and transparency. But no, it wasn't. We really need for facing these facts. It wasn't. And because it wasn't, people are asking questions to this day. Where is the results, or where are the results? Gonna be multiple elections, council, wards, parliamentarians, and the presidency. Where are the results? It seemed like waiting the chief electoral commissioner read for certify the president as the winner of the June 24, 2023 elections. It not really tally with waiting available. And what we need for keep in mind is the elections were monitored by international observers. They want the way they help we, for example, with budgetary allocation, the payment of civil servants in the country. Now, other people, the gratitude of other people outside, tax paying people, and they help we for pay them money than they so we civil servants for make sure the government they run. If we can't, that means we are indebted to others. That's why we have to be careful in the way how we manage the conversation. So waiting we see, and I will call them outrightly for waiting. To me, it sound like fitiai, rudeness, provocation, and they try for use we the people in between for make sure say they provoke them.
Anyway,
And then
I want make you hold on there first because now, but we don't see, even though you don't classify me, Mr. Bin don't they do some posts them say, well, when arrogance don't kick in, now like but the government they tell you say, we don't see minister them where minister then they tell you say after us, Sierra Leone is sovereign state. So wouldn't the US for can't tell we say we election not free or not transparent. And then also then always we don't see where honorables them where in fact at the name where we get one the speaker of parliament and some other SLPP members of parliament. Then they cite like the issues of the United States. Like for example, Donald Trump, they say, okay, some mandatory say how Donald Trump not be accept result, and then they and 30 day then they pan that kind fet they we don't see now we lost them where then they take action against people. Even yesterday or yeah yesterday they sentence of man they will take part now that what is a way then go attack na the
January 6th
defendant. Yeah.
insurrection
So
at the
so now
Capitol.
what how you they reconcile anything in the sovereignty or for do waiting na international best practice.
Well, of course, the question answers itself in terms of international best practice because we sign up to these things. We did. We are a disadvantaged country and continent, na the power structure, the global power structure. So we did sign up to these things. And if you sign up to an agreement, you get for honor to that agreement and the way you sign up to. But let us just open up a little bit more in terms of sovereignty and independence and etc. within the context of what we talk about. So what we do know by now is there are certain group of individuals where they try for play we up against words, semantics, or sovereignty. It is true that we get sovereignty, but even with sovereignty has conditions. There are conditions to with sovereignty. Because when you're sovereign, largely it means you're like total independence. You get total decisions. The way you make is by yourself, for yourself, and so forth and so on. This is not the case with us. That's why I say earlier on that within the specter of things, we did way below the ladder. Sometimes we can try for box above we wait, but no, because the structure is not ours. It was designed by others. We own them. And then you mentioned a key word here: best practice, elections, governance, openness, fairness, and we talk about the visa ban. It emanates out of them things there that things that way you sign up to in terms of best practice, in terms of democratic rule, freedom of rights, choice, expression, and things like that are not being met. So these are conditions that were set, and you agree to them. And now you want to deviate from that, and you are using these charged words like independence and sovereignty. They are violating our sovereignty. This is serious. But serious people should always also look at the accusation within the levy in terms of sovereignty. And I repeat again, we are a sovereign nation on pen and paper. On pen and paper, I repeat. But when it comes to the practical side of things, there are compromises in there. But what think governments can try for do, and especially in this case, now for whip up national sentiment and set we up against with moral and democratic guarantors. The evidence is ample enough. If we were to be left to our own caprices, our own whims, nothing we go do but bully we own people into subserviency. And in there happen so. Take the government in power, for example. What they've done, they've used intimidation, coercion, and this is where they accuse us or me, if I can just take that responsibility there, for say, well, this is where you belong. That's why you're saying what you're saying. And I can always challenge them. What I'm saying, we get ample evidence, Sekou, that intimidation tactics were used. The videos, they're all over. Coercion were used. The institutions were hijacked. And for come back again to one of the things that way you say, well, I not talk about, where I want to use now as the analogy, where they can use the Donald Trump issue. It is true that Donald Trump tried for seize power through unconstitutional means. And if this were in Africa, owing to what we know, that would have worked. Because why? Now, Ina be the incumbent. He was the president at the time. Every institution, they say, Assalamu alaikum to Ram, or in the name of Jesus to Ram. That's where he were. But unfortunately for Ram, and waiting we need for no, is the institutions of the West, largely the West, are independent. They are powerful, they are strong, and most especially, they are independent of the government instruments them. So now they allow the instruments of government for influence these institutions. So these institutions can work on their own. This is what Donald Trump tried for do. He tried for use these institutions as an African leader would have done with the institution, because they are the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end. It is not so in America, neither is it so in the United Kingdom. So they can juxtapose their position there and try for confuse we. But in the end, Donald Trump is paying the price. Having said this, it's most likely that he might become the president again. It doesn't mean that he didn't pay a price or he wasn't questioned or held accountable. A mugshot is a shot taken by the U.S. the U.S. Judiciary, the U.S. judicial services of criminals. When they indict you and call you and then get charges against you, they take a mock shot of you. This is a criminal element to the entire exercise. And guess what, Sekou? This was done to a former president of the United States. His mock shot, just like any other criminal, was taken.
And then also again, then they go to, because before we come for delve into the real issue about now, where we get for maybe talk about what you feel say will be the possible ramifications of these travel visa restrictions on those individuals, whether that will affect the country at large. But before we go there, now make people know say the one that were can quick for jump, the one use Donald Trump as an example of United States, they use standard. You know, means they are 100%. And then also 100% right. But I believe say the one the way they jump quickly for begin say, but Donald Trump now, accept results. Then for don't know say, if like how you rightly say, if the institutions then at the US not being the work, like so Donald Trump still did it. So now because democracy the work day, now, because the institutions and the work day, now it make Donald Trump not able to succeed. That now one. Two, now it make Donald Trump again, because the American people them they respect the voices of the people, they respect the laws. Now it make Donald Trump not be able for even persuade. Imagine for persuade your own vice president. because he try, he do all kind thing. You understand? So now that make, so una way they just quickly una jump, una begin give a blanket statement, make some kind what is no more just for confuse Sierra Leoneans, for just confuse with people them, for just because me what I can ask Sierra Leoneans, what I can ask me fellow citizens of Sierra Leone is this. Okay, for heaven's sake, why will not for whole just free and fair elections? I know say some of una they can't just now because I don't see another excuse back where Bokuman go talk. They say how there is no perfect election. Of course, even there is no perfection in human activities or other thing. Yes, but now una need for be like seen. Say okay, una they try for be well, we not go say for try for be perfect, but una they try for do the right thing. Una they try for respect the views and the aspirations of the people. So how, for heaven's sake, this again, I know say some of una go can begin tell you say how Christian Atop been do the same thing. 2012 elections, I remember when they say where Christian Atop say let them go police. According to, I think if I not forget, that time they say Konoba they not been done for count by or something where they announce results. So now you dey see say the SLPP them now where are the beneficiaries of the lack of transparency will happen. Now this June 24th elections will happen. So then they tell you, okay, no, why would I not be tell Christiana Top? Christiana Top do that thing and they, so does that mean say we for continuously continue for do the same thing, the same wrong? We all been condemned on that 10 day. So for do the same thing back, we not for do the same thing. It's wrong. What is wrong yesterday for wrong today? This now would they tell you now? So you they find out say okay, so you want adoyeri some MP then they talk in a parliament or that. Hey, no, we know there's no perfect elections. Come on, we don't need them boku boku story. Then there's no perfect elections. They can rob the people in Sansante. You try for fan a flame of disgruntledness in the country, you now make people feel say okay, no, you know what, our voices are not important because right now as a result of waiting don't happen. So and before this election sef, we get people them wey they say, you know what, me I not get for vote because whether we vote or not vote, the result and now waiting the one nine then get for announce, and it's like now exactly at that time waiting people them in the fear. And you dey find out these elections wey pass so e been really largely peaceful. So now one thing underline that peace dey, because Sierra Leoneans dem, I believe say wetin dem go through over the 5 years, most of Sierra Leoneans dem be want for really go demonstrate na the ballot box for tell dem say okay whether we not be happy or happy. So me now I've been to tell the government, I've been to tell the one the way they na power, say okay, una way they say una don't work, una don't deliver. Una just allow Sierra Leoneans them for vote their own choice. Una allow the thing for be free and fair so that we go able actually for know whether una don't work or not, whether una don't deliver, whether Sierra Leoneans them are satisfied with una work. But if they find out say like as of now waiting they happen so right now, because now we dey talk say the irregularities take place because we don't see credible international institutions them and credible country there when it comes to democracy. Then don't announce them and then don't say no, this is not right. So based on that fact we say if they can at this platform and tell them, I say no, what being happen, it not being right. So therefore now how una feel say we go able people and go able really for assess una for grade una say the past 5 years from 2018 to 2023 una been do a good job for Sierra Leoneans. If una not allow the process for go on fine without intimidation, if una be transparent in tallying the results na the regional center, make we know, okay, yes, now who's part of the district of Sierra Leone really appreciate una. But una confuse the whole thing. And then now una know how for make some of we talk, what we talk, una begin give we color. And me, like me, so I like all the colors. I like red, I like green. So this line are the problem. This una like anyway, but we get for come to the travel restriction. So this visa restrictions now una don't see. Una wey been dey go and begin for tell Sierra Leoneans them stories wey not true. Una dey make like say now una no more smart or now una no more get sense. Una they can't play with words and this and that. You know, for call people their names. Una don't make that tell una now. Sierra Leone have been they argue with somebody just now. Sierra Leone has always been divided, even under the APC, we've been to see divisions. Division there at the country. That's side, they no doubt about it. But I they tell you back for free, for the past 5 years, Sierra Leone is really, really divided. Than the whether you agree with me or not. You understand? See, the country is more divided than ever before. We get to accept that. So I really, I mean, they read the sludge president will go to well sludge then don't go congratulate President Bio then say for the victory. But now me not than they I be focused on now the speech where he gave, where it tell the president. You know, we need people the more they tell Mr. President the actual waiting they happen at the country. We know say some man them pay them, some minister them pay them for can't talk, convince the confuse Sierra Leoneans them as to the actual reality of waiting they happen at the ground at the country. But we need people them where they tell the president. We don't need people them where they can build a fence between the president and the reality na the country and the facts where they go on the actual thing where they happen at the country. We don't need them people in there. We need for tell I believe say the president maybe in his own quiet moment, he go really want for deliver, he go really want for lay Sierra Leoneans them for left a good legacy. Say okay, this nine are left or under me own regime, Sierra Leoneans them they enjoy. I don't think say the president go carry that intention say if they come for harm or for inflict suffering on Sierra Leoneans. No, I don't feel so. But the one the way he gather around them, I don't want to take again, I don't want to shift the blame on them entirely because he get the power for hire and fire. He sack, he get the capacity, he get the ability, and he can act because we don't see. He don't sack people the way will not be feel say he go sack. People the way be arrogant, way be feel say now then after God na them. He don't sack them, nothing no come up behind that. So meaning he get the power for do that. But now but we still need people them near them where they tell us, say, Pa, this is not right. If you want to sack you, it just sound like Donald Trump putting vice president, Mike Pence. Where he been one for later that party mix by halaki, the pan agree. So we need people them like that. So the country more divided now than ever before. You know, and it takes a leader for united country. You forget that strong leadership. For be somebody where they can say, okay, after us there will be don't do this. This is not the attitude where most of now you see from minister they go down that support ordinary supporter in a village. You get that attitude there. And when I come in 2018, when I campaign on a platform of change, when I say APC being they're not being they do the right thing. Then don't divide the country, lawlessness day. So what you wanna go tell, wanna assess una self back. Right now, what in the happen in Sierra Leone? In terms of lawlessness, in terms of division of the country, in terms of all the things the way have been condemned 2018. So, but just people that not get now, if for heaven's sake, if una been done work for the past 5 years, una not be need for employ so many tactics like okay for say okay no the law not say make we publish the result. No, the law not say this. Find excuses for just for defend lack of transparency in the system. And I dey tell you, elections result, of course, for announce the result na one thing. For the acceptability, wetin are the characters wey dey make people dem accept result. Now if then tallying the voting go peacefully, tally happen wey like all man see e transparent. Transparency na a key, na a very very important element for make people dem accept result. But if that aspect dey no dey existence, or the existence like is very very small, how una fit say people dem go convince say oh no, the elections was free and fair, no they were win? Because some man now wetin dem dey now say, the opposition no go na court, now they not challenge the result, they not get evidence, dem for don produce evidence. Fair enough, I respect una views. But again, wetin me dey try for say, why make una even allow a situation for arise for let people then question the transparency of the results? Why una allow that? Why the ECSL boss allow them thing in there for happen? Now una create all this thing here for una self. You know go come this the whole thing where they affect Sierra Leoneans right now, from the government ministers and go down. Now this one a mentality of say they will be don't do this do me I do you thing. It get for stop. That makes some of us will continue to say it, no matter like now would I save them power, we will tell you say no, this is not right, where you not right, we will tell you say this is not right. We go tell you, we go tell you say not right. Because if APC been done do, we know Christian Atop being nullify 477 police stations na the southeast. Okay, some of una still bitter about that. Some of una get grudges wey go way back to 1970 something. Okay, some of una get grudge from maybe 2012 wey Christian Atop say go police. Now he make in fact the opposite now una do this time round, where Christian Atop been say would I not satisfied with that result, make it go police. Then Corner say, well, the would I not okay, the law say make it go na court. Una say okay, una go na court. So okay, what you wanna get for what you wanna plan for can't tell we 2028. So now it makes Sierra Leoneans say me now that they try for say here. What thing don't happen so me certain things where people hey now God been don't mark una no life and God, not to God. These people elect for mix up religion and then tear. Not to God tell you. God give you all sense. So anything will happen as a result of waiting this lack of transparency. So you not go life and God, not to God. God give you sense. You they do what you want for do. So una need for do the right thing. Una learn for do the right thing. Una elect for use this. No election, no the way perfect. Of course. But that dry eye way back, that Sansan thing, what is a advantage where you they make other people and feel say okay, they are less Sierra Leoneans. And I see one attitude where they cut across both APC and SAPP when they in power. I remember APC where them in power. When some of we been they talk at that time, then they tell you say, hey no, people they're not patriotic. Then they pretend as if now they no more be like Salo. Same thing they happen with una back the SAPP una dey na power. So somebody not for talk, una they pretend as if Salon una don't buy am, now una get am, now una don't inherit the country. Now nobody not get right of union like forget other opinion way different from una. And the same way back the APC back, this una attitude una get for stop. Salon not belong to any individual or group of people. Despite na APC and SAPP be non the rule Salon, But not una get the country, not una own the country. Una get for know that. Now Sierra Leone belongs to Sierra Leoneans and all the tribes, not to one or two tribes. Una get for understand that. So this thing where don't happen so the leaders them would they start with the ECSL, they're responsible. And definitely we know say some people and they get for be affected with these visa restrictions, and including the government. Even though now they say okay now privacy issue they not get for announce, but I found the one for remind now again when they watch the then and now media empire will they discuss this travel ban, but we again but we dey bring for una the background let una know wetin dey happen at the country, some of una aware. But now the US don't take a decision, they don't take a policy, say the one the way them believe say, not a way SLPP supporter or APC supporter believe, oh, now the way then the US government believe say them people and they or the people the individuals the way involved for undermine democracy in Sierra Leone, then they impose some visa restriction on them, meaning they know they give them visa for go America, even if they get a visa, then they revoke her. But now they make and clear say no to this, they against the Sierra Leone people, the people of Sierra Leone, for saying that the country now all man no. And again, they say no to against the government, but certain individuals, because no matter you they get operative them, when they get people them way na errand boys. So man they knock chest, like say na do or die thing. So na them people and they. So man, they don't get money for do the dirty thing then. So and the list then say then get as how then they get the information. That's so then they add again the names of people them na the list. But they not make them public. And where people them in they ask whether the president go able go na the UN and what himself. So again, the lady be make am clear. You not give a straight answer to that. But he say they talk like they not get for name would go be affected, or would this travel visa restriction affect or not. He say but if possible make them give a waiver to individuals, especially now for go attend, because that at the UN General Assembly. We don't see sanction them. They even sanction Iran for how many years, but we see the leadership of Iran then can go attend UN meetings. So then they I know feel say maybe it come again on individual basis. Maybe what in them feel when the US feel say the gravity of the thing will make them issue that they impose that visa ban day. But at least then get discretion for say, okay, no, they'll allow them for attend this meeting. It depends on the importance of the meeting, especially now they will connect and now maybe the impact of Dande on the ordinary Sierra Leoneans. So Prince, so let's go now into this deep into this visa restrictions on them individuals them, yeah. What do you feel say will be the ramifications or the impact of that on the country if they get, even though they say they not do anything against Sierra Leone? Okay, we know they hear you Mike.
Even though they say they not do anything against Sierra Leone, it's like the thief man, you're not taken through the process of what try for unveil am, but you just ask them a few questions, and obviously the thief is going to deny, no, I'm not a thief. And this is the situation where we find ourselves in. There's many things said there by you, and very, very important. And I would like to go to them. But before I go to them, I'll just begin from Usa. You asked the last question, which is about the ramifications of the visa ban. The thing we family need for understand, we know say the ruling party and then surrogates them are trying to downplay this. But then they downplay them with the surrogates. But if they are actually interested, and Fambule, I want we listen to this part. If they're actually interested in the well-being of the Sierra Leonean people, then go understand say this by itself is not a small ban where they put on the country. And suffice me to say, not so because we did talk about them, because definitely the program is going to go viral. There's going to be blame games, as supposedly, some people and get an adjective they were they're very fond of, haters, that we hate we own country or we hate Mother Bio. And this is not the case for goodness sake. I believe, yeah, that we are patriots. We love we country. And waiting with the talk, we not to make we make them up. It is the reality. Now, the travel ban, we need for understand, say, the world is one global village, and no country is an island or can afford to be an island. Being an island, that system they it done over the last 50 years plus. The construct around internationalism is a global village. That is what we are a part and parcel of. And being a part and parcel of this global village means that we sign up to some conventions, to some treaty them, and other things them, if you will like. We did sign up. These are the facts. Now, if we sign up to them things then, which means that we get for abide by them things then they. And we not get for pick and choose when we can abide by them. Say, oh, okay, I've been signed here, I agree to this, but this other section, even though I've been not signed to that, I don't agree to it. It doesn't work that way. And you say could talk about best practice. This is key in the bigger scheme of things. Best practice under a democracy, which the one that we call with democratic guarantors are looking for and looking after, despite the notions that we can get now head, is you need for conform by certain rules, the given rules: freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of expression, of course, the same as freedom of speech, the rule of law, the rights of people should be observed. And if it come to elections as well, we get for conduct ourselves within the spirit and the framework of within the election law they say. We cannot change the rule of the game in the middle of the game itself. That's foul play. We cannot hijack our institutions and weaponize them, for favor and outcome. We go favor we not the incumbent or where they call the shots. All of this is foul play and is antithetical to democracy. And therefore, we get moral guarantors where we need for look at, for go back to the question where me dear brother ask. We therefore get moral guarantors and waiting they ask of us that we get for confirmed by their rules there. Because there are others. Not so because we get power, so therefore we try for disenfranchise others through the means of the power where we possess. We cannot do that. Then that is in itself disenfranchising the people, and it is against the rules of the game. But yes, you can do that. But when you do that, there are consequences. Sekou John, take over for me quickly, please. I think we can just take a moment.
Okay. Yeah, Famulem, again, I just want for remind una say una the watch the then and now media empire. And then this na Psycho John Barry, we did na the United Kingdom at the moment. They talk about uh, these visa restrictions. So una all know people are like, okay, then they tell you, say, but we done America. We don't see, but some man they post, they ask question. Well, America see yonder. But like how Prince been they talk this now. The world like a global village. And now some man they tell you say how we an independent country. Yes. But now I can ask some man, say, okay, yes, I agree with you now. Say we are independent country. Show me how many projects then na Salo. We in a big project them. We solely na the government of Sierra Leone na in the founder. We Sierra Leoneans then the founder project there. We need to support. or even the like, okay, waiting in the pay money waiting they use for pay. Now would that in the give it now who scheme them what
Absolutely.
like for example you they see the MCC for example where again it will likely be affected because the ambassador the US ambassador you see with man and then
Hello.
no mix pan boku boku kongosa business so because this man been done the US ambassador been done the talk this he been very very
Oh,
clear
yeah.
on then concern say now this the elections not been transparent so
Live.
he been talk am so now
Okay,
how
Sekou John. Yeah, sorry, I not cut you off and Fambulem. Of course, we need to acknowledge this. I've been here for take a break before Sekou take over. This now my last one. It is celebrating 18th birthday on Sunday. So I know say we
oh
get antagonists in here and people that we actually really love the platform. So I hope say we go join them in wishing her a
yeah
very happy birthday and everything that we wish for her and you wish for your own picking them. May it be her portion. Thank you very much, Sekou.
yeah happy birthday in advance.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
Okay, yeah, fumble them. Yeah, okay. So what have been they try for say? When I see the government then whether not okay, like the US for example, then get their own program when at the MCC. Then they tell una then get what they call benchmarks. Then getting the one at the meet conditions the one at the satisfy. Then the una the Fed democracy and other thing them. Okay, una get for meet than the and not to then you well then get your standard and they tell una then get them criteria where then set. Now this and this and this una get for meet for make una get this amount of money. So and una de omojuba because una need the money because if that money they not dey una no go able pay people them una not able pay una workers una not able undertake other development them. But now the democracy and free and fair elections and credible elections they part of them conditioning it. But now una feel say now despite all because despite una been on the okay follow because I remember when Mother Bio been they talk nicely and them in they perform them in the score high. Them in the score then sat inside and they then score higher than the APC. Them in the bluff with that. So but all that na because una been they follow the standard, the criteria where they were set. But now, just because of selfishness, for simply whole election, say, okay, now listen, let it be transparent. Let all man see and satisfy, say, okay, this election, who win now? For just do that and no more. Now in don't can turn work. Then then when person talk, una begin give the name, not so that they important. Una begin talk about how they were no Christian Atop not been do this and not do that. But it's not a Christian Atop in your time. So this night and the thing, but then when they talk about sovereignty. And now una sovereign, but una not able to do all things for una self. And una they get the bold mind back, una they compare una self with America. And waiting tranga na to dewa una they run, even if tin not tranga self, dewa get stake na salon because then taxpayers money they na our country. Well, una make are not still able to understand this idea where una can say what in they are our development partners. I know able understand. I know able understand that concept there. The word partners in this sense. But some man because within America, let America go sit down yonder. Okay, but now, Prince, now let's go to this issue here now. How you feel say these visa restrictions go able make we achieve democracy in a salon?
Um, um, Another good question. And Fambul, I'm sorry earlier on I've been here for yeah, stay away for a second or so. But good, very very good question. But I think they will be the address. I mean, before I come directly to that, let's just continue for develop which I've been to say because there lies the answer. And you've said it as well. There are benchmarks set by this international community or partners. We can't cherry pick. This is the problem. We cherry pick where we not agree with them, say, well, we go look for low hanging fruits and higher hanging fruits, the one that way difficult forget and the one that way easy forget. It doesn't work that way. No way. We sign up to agreements, and when you sign up to agreements, you get for abide by the agreements. And if you know those agreements are not good, do not sign up to them. Other than that, you will be in breach of the agreement, and therefore legal action can be taken against you. And in this case, in terms of legal action, then they can you go to court because there are rules, not laws, but rules of the game. If you not abide by the rules, then you therefore they forfeit XYZ advantages of waiting the rules-based system says. It's as simple as that. Coming back, here to the travel ban. I know say some people they try to make light of them, or they always try to make light of them. No, the United States, despite the challenges within the face of late, still continue to remain the most powerful country in the world today. The system under which we they operate is basically, in many aspects of what we talk about now, owned. It's shameful for mention that, but it is the reality. It is owned by them. After the First and the Second World War in particular, they developed systems, the Bretton Woods, the dollar, the domination of the dollar, the system, transaction, bank-wise of countries, SWIFT, if you will like, it's all theirs. And powerful countries now the world, Europe and Asia, Japan, they are all part and parcel of this process. And the thing will make these people exceptional is because they own the system. And if a powerful country will not conform by how they want them, they can use this system against them. And this is, I'm trying to answer your question now, the ramification and consequence. When we did trade, now the system now we they use for do with transactions through the same SWIFT system. If we don't use this transaction or transactional method, the action where we go indulge ourselves into will be black marketeering. In other words, you get one old drum of money for go look for 2 gallons of oil. And how much can you get, here for sustain your nation? So your nation just they deteriorate. They can penalize you if they want and punish you if they want. So these are the disadvantages and the ramifications of putting you on a travel ban because you are unable to travel to them to do transactions where you go left for do for your country. And when they say visa ban, it also affect the power where you get or the leverage where you get. Not many when it comes to us, or not much. I think none of the right language, not much, not many, but not much. For that we do with transactions. We lily transactions. We sell to them, we buy to them from them. They use the system of SWIFT for do the transaction, interbanking, bank to bank. We're
Yeah,
gonna be
Mr. Crewman, but then tell you, but they make and clear say this na individuals them the target. So how then they go affect the country as a whole?
So of course you make quite a good point here and ask quite a good question, but you ask the question for effect, and I get it, and I'm going to attempt to answer that. So if we listen to the interview alone held by, I believe, now the chargé d'affaires at the United States Embassy in Freetown by a local journalist. I don't use local in a derogatory way, just domestic journalist. Very good, short, and brilliant interview to the point and to the question. They are not trying the slapping of the ban is not trying to penalize the country by effect or by default the people. No, not to the intention, not to the intention of the United States. It's applying maximum pressure on the rulers. So yes, for now it looks largely personal because most of them get their assets abroad. Most of them go like for go holiday abroad with them picking them. Now make them tell you by extension. So yes, it go hard for say that this go affect the country in financial way as to how the people are in the lead. But yes, I still believe, say, it will affect them, Seku. If they slap a ban on you, despite now for your own personal rendezvous or holiday and etc., but now because you're not government official, so part of your function, they not define and say, oh now when no more you want go holiday, you want go Disneyland na America or Disneyland na Miami, are the only time you know you're this perfect. No, government officials of this current government who hampered, played, toyed, destroyed democracy, or use unorthodox means for deprive another, they are the ones that have been slapped with this ban. And so therefore, in their capacity as government official, and I believe the presidency, and I therefore mention this, the presidency, the first lady, and we can go on for names, because the idea that the ban mentioned people them way play with the democratic process, we deprive, we deny the process for play out the way it's supposed for play out. We know those who did, so we can therefore guess. So on that basis, they Sekou John, I therefore say this, that they're not go able in their capacity for function as a government official because they have been denied visa access. They have been denied. How can
But
they
then say,
function? How can they perform?
yeah, yeah. So, but like other people, them also can say, for example, they affect bilateral. Well, normally them ban and they if na blanket, but thank God, na individuals then the target. But it can really affect the bilateral trade and then and direct investment.
And foreign investment.
Yeah, direct foreign direct investment in the country. So because now we dey watch, let's say for example, them ban a certain country because or individuals na a certain country. Now we don't know na who that them. So we no go 100% say na government officers them, na minister them,
Absolutely.
or na this or na that. We no go say that day because the US, the lady was clear. He said that na a privacy issue, they no go make am public. Now that na them policy. But we don't see, for example, now, let's say if the investors then they go some side, let's just assume say minister then did it, and then this thing don't go. Now the US then don't announce am. E dey public. When you go na internet, they see am. You understand? So investor wan go salon for go do invest for go invest there. You get for go search about Sierra Leone. Then you can see this say okay, certain key individuals then na that country dey, wey maybe big names them, because now e be this election, yeah, big names dem get for dey. So now let's say dem can see them big names here. They say okay, no, this na for waiting now because they undermine democracy. And now investor dem wan for go na a country wey stable, wey dey respect democratic values. You understand? So either directly or indirectly, it don't affect because that investor they go they take it they rethink now. No, where you see where you see the US go to this extent for ban this, no say something is not right.
Absolutely.
Even though not of course they're not get for say every Sierra Leonean, but they get for target. So I would just wish like we for know now would that them be this day affect.
So, so,
So
so, yeah, anyway, carry on.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
enjoying
So
the way
so
you build them up because you are spot on.
yeah, so these are the things. They're not necessarily because now bilateral trade day between the countries, foreign direct investment day, between the countries them. Okay, but now how the thing, because everything now intertwined, everything get connections, then get relationship. Because now like democracy not about, it's not only about it gets the way you dey hold a free way you country stable, una dey practice democracy, and then thing and dey, e get a lot for do with for attract investors dem for Canada the country. And country dem dey, una wey dey say una na America, let America go sit down yanda, una begin blast, wey dat ambassador talk, una begin curse. Yes, una be feel say the new ambassador for don can save. I don't know whether una been feel that way there anyway. But una be feel say that they go come, you go can't stop. And this and the outgoing, but I don't know whether I don't go now or what. But that
Of course,
embassy,
it's gone.
okay, okay. So that man they been say, well, the stance of the US no go, and not say go change. It tell una but una be feel saying a lie. You see, but what you would they try for say here is all that na because all them they are come because of arrogance, and then now that meanness, and then now after it's not about all okay, it's not only about again doing this lack of transparency. It's about the arrogance again we come after that. Call them what thing? Educational drafts. Call them all kind, give them all kind description.
This is unforgivable, and
You
for
see?
a long
So
time.
I just dey give now one example wetin happen na Bangladesh. Dem get forget the elections very soon, but because dem really like they know, then they do things the way they contrary to democratic values. So the US decide for ban. I mean, they read on then thing and they like way elections within the travel visa policy on Bangladesh where they restrict them. So now US get different means. Like I can tell you no more. They get different means for make sure that democracy happen in a country. But Bangladesh now one of the countries them where they really impose these visa restrictions before the elections because they say the government na Bangladesh no they allow like the opposition for lead and campaign, and then they use certain laws them the Data Protection Act laws and other thing them for for just muscle the opposition. So now they say US they won, then tell to them they not agree. So later they don't impose a travel ban, visa restrictions, or you call them ban on key individuals them. All done they now for enforce the values, for make sure that the government okay then adhere to the democratic principles. You see, so new, but what in this they try for tell una way still feel say no, una way they go and halala say if free the election nothing no happen, nothing no wrong. Now the right thing we do is not correcting. But this don't send a message to Wuna and the one then the leadership of the country in Sierra Leone, government, ministers, president, till the ordinary supporter down there. Then tia, then actions, then Yahweh, then foreign government, then yeah, don't like the US, and you see EU they know what things about una they say about them business, but it is send a message because these were your friends. Now una party now una been the dance with the money where them in the give una and the scores the more una been done score during the MCC. So meaning now una party them, but now they still now they send message to una say one, the election not being credible and not being transparent. And not for say now because of now we na ya see don't because that man where I don't know if na ready where or what now because na ready get now I make or me they talk because I get green. No, it because the thing, the reality, the evidence, the facts, and the thing will happen, and them where then come, then people then can then observe. The reality is the right thing not being happen. So when we been they deny, say no, it happened. We don't get now this na strong evidence say America they know they forget. Well, I tell you now. America they not for say na salon no more. After we then don't give Bangladesh, who name no can they yet. I they read for na something na ya. So okay, so then say whether now that visa restriction did the work, but this not a Bangladesh, for example, but we can even relate that to the situation because at the same. They say Bangladesh is not the first country subjected to US visa restrictions as a tool to punish those who have subverted the democratic process.
Yep.
You understand? Because then they take us, then no, una way they go and holla say America no important, wouldn't America. They no say then to them, them believe say if then like how Prince talked earlier, Boku man in the right now, they get accounts in America, they get money there. You understand? They get money in the banks then in the United States. So now this ban, I believe say e get for affect them. So now it make them believe say it dey serve as look am dem say to punish those who have subverted the democratic process. Previously, visa restrictions have been imposed on individuals from Nigeria, Somalia, Uganda, Nicaragua, and Belarus for undermining democracy and electoral process under different laws. You
Yeah,
see,
exactly.
so
Exactly.
so now like this na the thing. So the mere fact is dem don take this action. So say wetin una do, wetin the electoral chief electoral commissioner do wey na Kone, wetin e do was not right.
So let me jump in this again and try for expand on what you just don't say, because what you just don't say all of this now fact. But where we can talk to we people them, we can one way and can down all the way for dial the number down to the level as we other family like you see if you dey talk to Mama Yeli or Mami Yeno somewhere at the countryside, so at least then they get you. Sekujon, the United States or the international community, they not make them design there just because they feel for design them. There are consequences and ramifications, and they are well thought through. Waiting will be the consequence if you do X, Y, Z, if you violate this. And now all of this now within the sphere, you can call it disadvantage if you like, but you be not sign up to. And now within the sphere of diplomacy, when the United States ambassador come out and I want for believe this, I have no tangible evidence, but just circumstantial. The outgoing one, when he come and threw a spanner in the works, what we know in the first place is Boku conversation. There was ongoing conversation, negotiations, women they go on at the background between the All People's Congress and the SLPP government. Now, on the face of social media, mostly people that support the ruling party, they want for deny that. But then you can deny all that you want to. But if the country they in a state of flux, this is not simple logic, it they in a state of flux. You had a multi-party democracy expecting a multi-party government, and then the other side they said we are staying away, we are holding our votes, we are holding our franchise or exercising the right way we get by not participating in your government. That's all they under the constitution, even though that they blame and they talk about in this case that of the APC. They mean they totally within their rights because they've got a grievance against the government. That grievance they are in the work so now because they have made a case, not only now, because it's been clear about the elections that something not just right. And not to APC, they go complain to the international community. Why do I say this? Because the international community themselves were there, Sekujon. They had a delegation or delegations we help for can umpire with elections and then witness them firsthand for themselves. Then you read, then see, then talk. Then write a report with a form policy now for the EU and other organizations and going forward to we elections then. But away from that, the people and the powers that be no say they were agree. You remember just before the elections, Samora Kamara and Julius Maada Bio signed an agreement championed by the Commonwealth for make sure say principles attached to democracy will be respected. Rule of law, freedom for exercise your choice, go vote, just that general freedom. All of these were abused by one person or one side. Then disenfranchised, and they say this is why, of course, I get accused all the time of being XYZ. But only because I'm saying what they say now, and I can also challenge them. But the thing I say, is it wrong? Where there are no anomalies now with elections, where there are no violence now with elections,
But wait,
intimidations.
Prince Crewman, but the like again, because the main problem happens na the regional tally center. They well some man the tell been in Afobe College, then they tell you say na they the reggae take place. You understand? Because now people not be actually know voting and voting now
Mm.
whose presidential candidate get whose vote now whose district where you can the region. Okay, so now but then they tell you say no, the law not say make we do voting the international community or waiting the APC they say make we do. So therefore it is within the law. So how you go? What thing are you take on that?
The question here is within which law? The law is definitive, Sekou John, and you are a legal scholar. The law is definitive. You cannot hijack the law and twist the law for suit you narrative. That in itself is foul play. And because you get this power in you, when are you not the champion, are you not the alpha and the omega? Wait till you say, even though you've twisted the law for suit you narrative, which is wrong, but there is nothing that can be done because now you they call the shots. Waiting to happen now is the international community don't come out and they act like an arbiter, an umpire between a disenfranchised people or a party for that matter as against another champion. And what I say champion, I mean like a bomber. The bomber in this analogy, now the SLPP stroke power government, and the victim, now the people of Sierra Leone. And like I say again, if I can repeat, the international community was there. They witnessed firsthand waiting happen. Then document them. So I'm not making this any of this up. These are facts. The disenfranchised people, the opposition could not campaign in SLPP or government strongholds. They chased them out. Buildings of people who supported the opposition were burned down, razed to the ground. It should all be documented. We get videos to that effect. We get people that will support the government will come out. And these are militias. Imagine in a civilian government, a civilian era under democracy. We get militia them. We block roads and they make TV, they make tape of themselves. They mention your good friend, the former Minister of Information, Rado Soare, that we are doing this in your behalf now, your constituency. We are not going to. They went scot-free. The police could not exercise their jurisdiction for apprehend breakers of the law. Why? Because they were empowered, emboldened by a government. But the people and see all this. Now, when the people in Kobo, you say sovereignty, then they abuse the sovereignty of the country, the independence of the country. Salo people, are we big
Yeah,
fool?
I just I
We
just
are big
want
fool?
I just want to read for you one important
Please do.
message. I know say you don't see him. He say una one Mamadou Kamara. He say una too lie. Una just they inject lie information to some of the idol one them where they listen to una. I believe say inside go there among the idol one them because at least if you not been the
He's listening. He's
yeah.
listening. He's
Yeah,
not
but anyway,
the
we
irony.
really, yeah, we really appreciate una the one the way they cause, the one the way know the cause, the one the way they praise. We respect una views, even the cause una the cause, we respect una. And again, this is not the beauty of democracy. So we respect una views. You know me say, what you don't know, I for talk what you like for yeri. Or you say where you comment there you for can begin. No, me if possible, I say no praise me. But as long as my conscience clear, na immediate work on. So we really thank you, Mamadou Kamara, at least for being among the one the way you say then idol for listening and so we really appreciate you.
What an
So
irony. And
yeah,
he
yeah.
takes time
So
for type
so
all of that
please,
and he accuse others of being idle. When
yeah, yeah,
we go left hand to the public for adjudicate who that
yeah.
idol pass them
Yeah.
their friend.
So fumble them again. I just want to remind you now. When they watch the then and now media empire, again this na Cycle John, and today the CEO they are when Prince Crowman. We they talk about these visa restrictions on individuals them where we don't know now that then yet, but definitely individuals them. So imagine now by stage, we believe say the US like even the press secretary been talk say well them engage with the US government, so meaning engagement been done they take place after the announcement of the results. But now you don't see well, this stage here where they don't announce this, don't tell una say if negotiation or dialogue or whatever engagement when they take place, it not been successful. Because if it been successful, they not for don't reach this stage. Maybe then we don't say okay, una do X, una do Y, but they not do am. Maybe because we get sense we dey analyze. So maybe
Absolutely. Absolutely.
because they no go grab no more, then go impose this. Because then self now a country like how una they say, okay, yes, of course, we respect Sierra Leone na a sovereign state. We get na a sovereign state for heaven's sake. How sovereign are we? We know they have for talk about that. They left to una for judge. But we na a sovereign state. But what you they try for say if a country don't look another country when a sovereign state, and then he say okay, would they ban certain individual, and this not to an office say then we go ban then we go give visa restrictions to
No, no,
that
but say,
mean.
John, just a quick one. I mean, and of course, for the sake of argument, so I can
Mm,
understand where USA you they go.
mhm.
The issue of sovereignty is just being overplayed by the other side for either rack up sympathy or for play the same Sierra Leonean people them up against each other and against the Western side. The Western side on this occasion, that they are not toying with we sovereignty. They are only holding the government responsible for things that we then sign up to the agreement. For example, the EU come up with a 21 or 29 point plan where they don't give government for adhere to. That are long before the elections. And then they fall short and the EU send a reminder. But the point here is all of these were things signed up to. So not to things where they can't impose on. We say power. We come on other country where they can't tell una say na so una for do.
Again,
Even
again,
case na for one.
again, let's just interject there now because one thing, because a lot of Sierra Leoneans maybe we they forget too much. Well, the one that we really experience during the war, we know we been the go run, we they hide in a bush, we they go lead on a bush. We know what been they happen.
Usa
Sometimes,
na falaba?
yeah, yeah. One like one net. I remember one net. We lead on a bush where then can raid will turn. We go na bush. You lead on so they see bullets and they go up. Then they like bullets and they pass. So we some of we don't see that thing and they will not experience them. But now some man don't forget the role of the international community. That were una the blast for today. Una don't forget the role where they were played during the war for make we get peace. Una don't forget say some of them were them people then don't die in a salon. They don't kill them people there. Una don't forget say there were them been don't invest for make we get peace and democracy. They don't sponsor so many conferences. They don't call people then at the table. They don't pioneer. They don't even support una for jail certain people there. Like Chastel or the who say they London na today. Una don't forget all that they say, okay, because of them, because one thing, una not go able for Sido say eh, una left wibo, una not get say in our affairs. But then now when trouble come, like how Prince been the talk earlier, una not go cherry pick. When una get trouble, una they call them okay, we want to invite our international development partners because na that development partners they now una they sometimes una they fake una self. We want to invite them to come and help us in doing this X, Y, and Z. But now, when they advise una now for no relapse to the thing the way they lead to conflict, thing the way they lead to disenchantment in the country, they will vex when I say Salona is sovereign state. And now these individuals them now where they get for where then go slam these visa restrictions on with their families, it does send a clear message to una say what you have been doing not be right, not right. And when somebody talk, some of una they make like say una sabi talk, but it's wrong. That not to sabi talk. So
No, it's not.
now let's say now okay, Prince, we they go now, we don't know now what possible ramifications. Maybe it get for affect again, plus or minus, maybe investor one for go na salon, you go check then they are all democracy and other thing there. You see, don't slam some kind visa restriction on certain individuals when are key players. As I've been they say earlier on, I know if you say that villager, that farmer, this thing will affect her. You understand? Because that farmer they know maybe say you no go even get interest for go America. Even you go one for go, but you not get the means. And you not even play active role. So now make them dey tell una say the one they will play active role for undermine the democracy in the country. And this it go be big people. Some people go be minister if possible. You understand? Because some man mean they perform and misbehave for let the power no say it work. You
No,
understand?
Sekou John, it affects the farmer in a different way. Because, of
No,
course, the
no, what
farmer,
I dey say, that farmer
yeah.
in name no get for appear say Mr. Momodu Soso person wey dey Soso village. Because they're not voting safe, they're not involved, not to them involved in the planning, the organization, the
Oh,
execution.
no, no, in that sense, that you are absolutely right, and I
Yeah,
understand
now
you.
that angle there at the talk. So now this me they try for say. So what are they try for bring out here? Definitely na big names then get for the inside.
Oh, yeah, absolutely,
You,
of
you
course.
understand na big names then get for the inside.
And this is
Whether
why,
whether the one they will be called a because then they observe whether the speeches before, during, and after elections. I believe say they get for take all that thing into consideration. You will be
Sekou
sit
John,
down now. Yes,
Sekou John,
yes.
the reason why we there on this platform for call one or two names just now,
Mhm.
the reason why we don't put a bulletin out for say, and we use the right language, we tempered the language by saying, assumably, we dey assume the names them we go there on that list, is because they give we the criteria who that this cap fits. They've made it clear to us. Between me and you, we've been monitoring the elections in our country. We had programs here. How will we call up again? The lead to state house or something. The race to state house. I remember now, the race to state
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
We had many programs here on that basis. So we know waiting na the criteria. We know the people that wait tamper. Okay, in this case, waiting the United States government, they say the people that wait tamper with democracy, will deprive others. Sure enough, on the basis of informed and logical guess, I'm sure say you can come up with 10 candidates from the government to NGOs and what have you, and that would be like simple thing like 1, 2, 3 or ABC. So that's why we are saying that we can determine a few names. And I'm sure say well, by every
Eh,
chance or
eh,
every stretch.
Again, I be the listen where some people they say, they not get for just give it did not get for affect all man. Of course, it not get for affect all man. But now I make them say the one the way then again I always distress the one way the United States feel say based on their activities, their involvement, they feel say they were undermine democracy. Now dandy then in the target. So if you now being government, former government minister or what self, maybe you cool, you play you low profile, you not be involved and that bagbati that well power way, this, that. I believe say maybe not get for affect you. But the one
And
the
let
way
me
be
add this. Let me add this back to what you did say, because again you make a critical point. First of all, we all know say the United States is not stupid. In terms of slapping sanctions and ban, they've made few mistakes in their history, very few, a handful, and they've done this like hundreds of times. But they know exactly what they want, how they want what they want, and why they compile the list where they compile. For go back to what you just say, yes, some minister then play low profile. They are not after the little minaus. They are after the decision makers. Not to would follow order get in your own consequence, but it not major in this sense. Now the one them way decide within the command and control post. We tell people and say, go do this. we impose on people and value them or ask them, yeah, for go carry out a certain action, command and control. These are the people, and again, that's why we are able to for determine, say, a get for be Mr. X, Madam Y, Mr. Z, and etc. We can tell a few, and if we're wrong, brother, it won't even be, I mean, the few names that will be wrong on, it won't even be, you're like 0.1%. So 99.9999%, we will be correct. But going back again to this thing, before me ask you your few questions, is they know why they impose the sanction, the visa ban. They've compiled the list on the basis of reports that they've received, which were compiled by the expatriates and sent to them. I think you make a critical point where we talk about the consequences. One, even though it sounds like individuals, but these individuals, they are performing the role or roles of a government official of a country. Hence why government itself, they say, na independence, na in our independence, na in they play on and what have you, because they are in positions of trust. And now they are being slapped this ban. They can't function as they're supposed for function. But for simplify them, you said it all. If a investor want for come, because as they do this straight away, then they update them profile na their website. Let's say the State Department, for example, is going to have a bulletin out there na the State Department website for tell we about the status of Sierra Leone. And imagine if Anthony Blinken, the Foreign Secretary of the United States, or as they call him, Secretary of State of the US, encourage that for going in website, they are sending information to the entire world. So no serious businessman need to go inside there for go invest the money because the risk will be too high. Except the returns too high for let you take the risk. But then you take an investor, here for do that because you can't tell the United States don't declare, say, this place is not safe for business. And just watch what's going to happen in the coming days and weeks. The United Kingdom and other Western nations are going to follow suit with the United States because there is a concerted effort on this. And I bring this back to you, Seko. Waiting now me the suspect or hold strong in my view is I think, and I stress, I think that there is a process or an issue of regime change in our country. I'm posing this to you with all of this that we've just said. What do you think? I think that there's a regime change process with all the demands there and slapping XYZ. Your opinion, please.
Okay, whether Awale, you come again. Awale, rephrase the question.
Oh yeah, what I've been to say in short is what we see they play out so by the Western world. We elections which are now seriously questionable by serious partners in the world, i.e., the United States, and I have no doubt that the United Kingdom is going to follow suit very soon in terms of the action that has been taken by the United States and other European countries or Western countries. I they say by virtue of their action there, waiting me don't they see they play out. The outgoing US ambassador for come out for say what he said to the public. And now one for believe say that there is regime change on the agenda. Your thoughts, please.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you so much for this question. And then I believe say this don't come up a lot, especially from the 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 ruling party circle. And say, well, how even some of we will they talk now the platforms them where I believe say we opinions they're not in sync with that of the ruling party. Then they tell una say how well una they part of the people them we want for regime change. But it can be yes, it can be no. One what me see And based on now where I follow wetin happen na Bangladesh, I believe say it go be very difficult for reverse say, okay, you know what, make things change, let we get other new president. I believe say that dey very difficult, very very difficult. But now wetin me see, now wetin dem dey try for do, and again, based on like this travel, this visa restriction and all the other thing there, now for try for protect and for avoid wetin happen during June 24th elections, for make e no repeat itself again 2028. Because now I believe say dem sef don see, and all rational human beings don see say, if this thing wey happen so June 24th, they allow am for go like unchecked, definitely the worst go happen 2028. So until we go say this one e better, you understand? So now
Yep.
that I believe. But so this na the problem. I believe say dem dey try for protect the integrity of the future elections. So you dey find out say in Bangladesh, for example, dem no wait till the election pass. You understand? Now, few months or few weeks to elections, then don't slam them. Say, okay, because we no want do this. So I believe say that them plus or minus, you get for create some effects. So for say like it will be very difficult and it is not foreseeable for let them can say, okay, no, you know what, well, let we change matter bill, or we do this, or we rerun the elections. And not fit say, this my opinion. And not fit say Dande go able to work effective. Dande no go
Okay.
it's very unlikely. But what me they see no more here is then don't get fear, because one, you dey see the level of arrogance of the ruling elite. And again, this statement are not to for remove the responsibility again of APC, then you disorganized. Then they under then get the own whole loads of problems where they not organized, lack of leadership and all. No, but not to that they will talk about now. We talk about the one the way they in charge, the ruling party elite, them, the arrogance, the level of arrogance. So then we say, okay, you know what? If they were don't get mind for do this tier, and then become so arrogant again at the same time, if we allow them for get away with this, then we'll do waiting past this 2028.
So,
So
Sakujo, just for take you on that point there, because
mhm,
that's quite a critical point where you make right there. But
mhm,
for not allow them for let them not do them again going further,
mhm,
the action has to be substantive. You get forget substance, not with
mhm,
just pronouncement. Like we just say, okay, we slap on a travel ban.
mhm,
You get for actually get physical action.
mhm,
And this now my question to you, and that physical action, it means
mhm,
the consequence. Are they going to allow them for continue for do waiting and they do? Are
mhm.
you implying that they do this slapping on the wrist, or maybe more serious enough slap on the face, metaphorically, so that they go sober up and then back off or continue for rule? What's your take, Siku?
Yeah, so I was a bit distracted. Okay, now for example, I believe say one, uh wetin happen so this travel, this visa restriction, I believe say, especially now, if, and I believe, strongly believe say key people them get for be affected. You understand? So I believe say this one, it go really serve as a check, because one them, because you dey find out say that level of, it just start like when they say for broke them feather there. You understand? Eh? So he get for really make them think twice, and then now he go able bring them back to the table for really talk about serious, for engage in a serious discussions for make them.
And Seku, sorry again for butting in,
Mhm,
again because we run out of time.
mhm,
It is intended for bring them back on the table. But do you think they want for come back on the table? And I ask you this question because again, whilst we not did the USAID and the whole conversation in there, but the
Mm,
little bit we did out to the public,
mm,
understanding design, circumstances, and etc., we know
mm,
say that there is no sincerity on the part of government. If we can go just go with the premise, say
mm.
elections is being questioned as to how the results were read and what the results represent, and the government they double down for anybody we asks about, yeah, but with these results, with the polling station data, yeah, and etc., the government they double down. Now, if the government compromise the situation, they Alex say and put them under duress, and they decide for come on the table for talk, that means when they compromise, then assumably and elections that they never won.
Yeah, yeah, but again, like certain actions, then they definitely get for force them for cancel them and talk. And despite all the bagbati way they hear it outside, we understand say again talks them in on the go on behind the scenes. You understand? So now as to whether now they get for strength in that, they get for engage now and more because they go don't know say no, you know what? Na serious business. This na serious business. Because remember they say the person will talk for the US, he say from the US embassy, he say well again additional names then get for CAM based on information and the fact on the ground. So meaning the thing get for wide. So now I believe say this go able this they force them for sit down and talk.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, you get for force them for sit down and talk. And me the whole thing what they try for say here is now for protect the future elections.
Okay.
Again, and this one back, the need for Sidom, again, the stakeholders them, then get for need the need for Sidom and talk and correct back the mistakes that will happen during these elections. But what you know more again, my own genuine opinion, like for say they go reverse or they go conduct other elections and other thing, I not see that there as a possibility. I not see them. But I know say no more boku thing then get for happen, boku changes then get
Yeah.
for happen, boku correction then get for happen. But the main thing is now for one for for prevent
Okay.
tyranny and for protect
I
the
think I
future
get. I think I
our
get to say
democracy.
you they come up from now.
Yeah,
I think I get where you they come up from now. Force them on the table, allow
yeah,
them for negotiate. It not necessarily mean say you get for leave power, but you need for adjust yourself. You need for make adjustments and changes. You can't continue on this path the way you continue. It's not productive. It's kind of counterproductive, in fact, to what you're supposed to stand for. Fambulem, we just don't go over the 500 mark. And if you watch on Facebook, of course, you will see a different number, but we stream live to two platforms simultaneously. And since we get administrative access, so we dey look at the real figure, so it's just a little over 500. I think the highest we've gone tonight is 514 live viewers. And this number is appreciable. We thank Una very much. But because what we dey talk about is so important, we dey ask again for let we do one last share. If not 500 of us are watching, if we share one more time or probably two more times, we probably will get 1,000. Then now they average between 200, 500, and 3,000 live viewers per show, depending on what the show is. This one is another good one, or one for Teluna Tenki. So we come towards the end of the program, and second half, I'll get for Axel John a few questions, some things that we will not touch on potentially, or for accent for expand on other things. But this not the TNN TV Media Empire program. My name is Prince Emil Krumah alongside Sekou John Barry. They present this particular very important program. Please do not touch that dial. to Basics. This is the TNN TV Media Empire program. Today, now the 2nd of September 2023. My name is Prince Emil Kroma alongside Sekou John Barry. So today we can like for sure we achievement them or talk about a few things. Probably we're not even germane to the conversation or get a remote connection to the conversation. But as a form of gratitude and for show we view them, especially the ones that are very friendly towards the platform, for say we are all in this together or this is what we've been doing, we can let for sure one or two things. And the one or two things they want to talk about today, and not get for do with anything what we will talk about. So in fact, it's a little bit different. Sekou John, the co-host for tonight's program or the host for tonight's program, is been in the front burner. No say this particular broadcast should have been from your end, from Holland. I should have been in Holland tonight, and I do for behold this program. Unfortunately, they canceled my flight. And not to that cancelled flight where you sit on a house and then send you text message say, well, the flight has been cancelled. No, I went through all the rubrics, left me host, and there's a train strike, so there are restricted services. I struggle, I suffer, I jump station, pick station, until I finally arrive at Gatwick North. And then the flight was on the flight board, say, well, yes, there's a delay for an hour. And then later on, they say it's been cancelled. Now, can you imagine that? So one of the reasons why the program run late, this is it. Sekou John was all prepared. I was still trying to make my way back home, having been disappointed from a flight where I was supposed to take today. I should have been in the city of Holland. Unfortunately, I didn't make it. I'm going to try again probably today, Saturday, because I was meant to attend a program and probably guest speak at a program, which I was looking very much forward to. But again, if it happens, fine. If it doesn't, it's not the end of life. Secondly, I've been talked by one or two of the program. I've been even wearing the t-shirt. I was working for a company. It's called React. That contract, they unfortunately don't come to an end. They issue me a certificate. I'm very proud of it. This is not the Ukraine-Russian war. I participated in it in a different sense because I was looking after Ukrainians as a welfare assessor. That was my official title. The contract has come to an end and I miss them so much. The money was good. The job was good. It fit me much because I can talk and engage. It don't come to an end and give me a certificate. This is my certificate. And sometimes they when I'm in a talk or they do a program, now the work knock in the pan, but for continue for talk to salon people, I've been still the multitask. So sometimes they will not go hearing me because I do everything in a hurry or a phone call they come in or etc. etc. This is what I was doing. And I'm proud to have been a recipient of this certificate from React. Also, in our stop day, those who follow the Ukraine-Russia crisis go notice this. This is a flag of Ukraine. I mean, not the flag, but a symbol or emblem of Ukraine. And this is being given to me as a patch. So if you see how they wear them in the future, now for understand which side they come up from, because I go gladly like for. I've got a different view though, but like waiting I do, I appreciate that. So maybe in the future you will see on my t-shirt, by my chest, or most likely in my arm, they act like Sujaman, so they can put some kind of business there. So I was given this, and this it means a whole lot to me. But I dedicate time to the then and now. Finally, on the final announcement, then and now is a registered company. I repeat, it's a registered company in the United Kingdom. And Sekou John, of course, I'll not be brief you this, so it might come as a surprise to you as well. We not do with tax, last year on time. So therefore, we got fined hundreds of pounds. I don't know who's for be able to afford that money, honestly. So it come up from the taxman, it went to the debtor began for write to letters. And then I decide, say, because say you can't dodge the taxman at this country. So I decide, say, we need for call the taxman up and try for make some arrangements. Maybe we could pay 50 or 100 pounds every month for do away with this. Because when you come to the taxman, then they push you to the level. They will bring criminal charges against you, tax evasion and tax dodging. Of course, there are two different things. So we called the taxman about 3 days ago, and this don't exist for a number of months. Only for us, after they take we through the security, only for us to be told that somebody, not somebody, but the amount has been paid. And we asked question two to them. Have you got the reference? We read the reference over. They said, no, this account is settled. It has been paid. Now I want for use this opportunity. Uda ever pay that money? This is not the second time we people in the surprise the platform. To be honest, and I'm dead serious about this to my believing faith as a Christian. I am serious about this. I'm not making this up. Uda ever pay this money? Of course, you remain anonymous. But even though when we self no know you, I want for use the opportunity for express with thanks and gratitude to you. Whether a woman, whether a man, whether an organization, you paid in behalf of this organization hundreds of pounds to the British HMRC, and the taxman. You paid for us. We don't even know. We call for big arrangement because we don't get money for pay small. They say, no, no, this account is settled. So we're thankful for that. We are for everlasting grateful. Thank you so much. Back again, Sekou John, just quickly.
Okay,
Yeah, you want
okay.
to say
But
something?
before you ask again, because you know go say this and not say something, and
Oh, yeah,
then
absolutely. I'm sorry.
again, we want for congratulate you on this certificate and the hard
Thank
work
you
where you
very
do.
much.
Of course, we're not surprised. We know say you can do it, and then also the person way what himself pay that money back. We really thank him very well, and then this now for sure say now for appreciate and now for no say no more, they will just stick on what you would depend. We focus. Of course, then go accuse you here and there. And then I don't even see somebody they say me they try for defend SLPP. You see how people in the yeah. You see how what me na SLPP disappointed sympathizer. So
Of
anyway,
course,
yeah,
you
yeah,
were green and we're red, so I'm
yeah.
sympathizing
So
with APC. You
so
sympathize
yeah,
with.
but the thing is, the platform will they continue. Sometimes, okay, yeah. So sometimes, of course, as human beings, we not perfect. That no mean say na the way people like use that word. The elections not the way perfect. You dey go do something way deliberate. Where you know say this na really wrong thing, na robbery. Then you can't say no, elections are not perfect around the world. Yes, we know that, but you for make effort. So now that make we say we not say we're not perfect, but we dey make conscious effort for ensure that we say the right thing. We know they can misinform una, and we dey analyze based on facts. We give we own opinion. We all my entitled to, but we own
Absolutely.
opinion what we dey give, we can back am with facts and wetin dey happen on the ground. Then we analyze, we make we own conclusion based on the fact wey available in front of us. So yeah, so going back to Prince, wetin you be wan say before we go? You be wan ask question?
Yes, absolutely. Sekou John, I'll be one ask questions, and yes, we will come to the end of the program itself. So just a few questions for you, and thank you for that portion where you just outlay for we. I'm sure say the viewers, especially the positive ones, will be very thankful. But we even also extend an olive branch and an arm open to we antagonist them. We business now is we continue for remain unbiased. Being critical of government does not mean that you support the other. The government is ours, it's duty bound for whole government to account. That's the job that we do here. Okay? So, but we still get we inherent biases as Motorman, like Sekou John say. But Sekou John, going quickly, I want for let we cover one or two things before we end this program because we not be not get the opportunity for do so. You know, when the government, yeah, come into being after the 24th of June, the president, Julius Maada Bio, he made many changes in terms of approach to government. In other words, ministers. We see veteran ministers. In other words, ministers where you would think say understand the rubrics of the job were taken away, and then he ushered in a new era of young ministers. And I understand from a friend, and I'll listen to that myself, that he boasted about it. He said, well, we dey try for give young people opportunity, which is a good thing. But young people equally therefore be understudy for understand the task whether they can undertake. But that's not my point. Just going to one of them, which is the Minister of Information, and the debacle will unfold during the issue with the outgoing US ambassador 98.1. I shall say this is a story where you're familiar with. And you, as a researcher, and from a legal perspective, don't dig into this, I have no doubt. Give me your opinion, what you think say happen, how it happened, what should have happened, and what did not happen.
Okay, about the US ambassador in statement.
A statement and the Minister of Information in reaction, yeah, to the
Yeah,
US
yeah, no,
ambassador.
yeah. I know we well what you mean just the try for say is well again we get new and young enthusiastic young guy that we don't kind of the system where apparently the way the thing they happen is like they want for proof and they want for so say okay we say don't kind of the game and then we know what you would happen. But again like for deal with then kind for handle such situations you need like again experience of course where somebody you don't work with ngos you don't work on a big side them then that not give you that not make you say okay you get experience at this aspect as well when it comes to governance for govern the country and how for deal with international then diplomacy team them the young man they try, but again, I believe say he get for of course I believe say how he dey go na so he get for land. He dey land na the na the job. He dey land because now, especially now, you don't see all la for la say the Salon na a sovereign state, na this, na that. But you get for no say them people them back, they not just grab and begin talk about una own issues, una election issues out of the air. If they not been get stake, if they're not being get interest, if they're not being get concern, if they're not be relevant, if really we not matter again, salon not matter to them, or we actions or inactions no go affect them either directly or indirectly, they're not for talk about them. You know, so I believe say but going forward, I believe say then get for land. The new man the way come, then get for land. Then they know how things they happen. Then go learn and see how for approach certain issues. Now that no more me get for say on that. Mike.
Very much. On another note, another government official known as Solomon Jamiru was on the airwaves, I believe, yesterday or the day before yesterday, with regard to many things where they happen, especially this visa ban. There are statements where it usher to the public in behalf of government. As an analyst, an observer, and a pundit, I wonder what you take.
So is it on this
The
trap
visa,
visa? No, yeah. One thing, me Solomon Jamiru now one of the people them way they talk for government we are really like I really I just feel say he fought right. Now somebody like today where we they talk, they talk you they know say the fact and even though they defend the government, they try for send like the boy he was so diplomatic and a man we really I believe say you know what he they do immature it is show maturity anytime you talk it is show maturity and like you hear what he talk like okay more or less them a bit disappointed with what happened but of course then they continue for engage and for ensure that they do the right thing because we don't see again where the president according to where he announced in a parliament during the state opening of parliament where he say then get for he constitute a committee like where VP go be the head of that committee they for review the elections. Where again the opposition get their own opinion on that, and we even understand what in the US talk about that. The ambassador been talk about the former ambassador been talk. He say, well, now you know go be referee and the player at the same time. They need somebody wey independent for head that committee dey. We hope say, we believe say dem pressure wey, if dem pile some pressure dem on the government, we go able get something wey serious wey dey come out from there reforms dem. Wey not all for just calm put people dem announce say, well, we wan do this, then una can't change things, then una twist certain things then for suit una own entity and una own interest only. So we believe say the steps dem wey the US dey take right now and other international development partners, dem go able bring una for make una understand say no, una get for do things differently, especially when it comes to doing reforms in the country, where all man go be involved, where the interest of everybody go be represented, and the aspirations of Sierra Leoneans, where not to just very few people them, or for protect an entity, or for protect the interests of certain group of people. No, it therefore be for Sierra Leoneans them, and everybody should be involved.
Yeah, fair enough. Another quick one, Sekou, is on the issue of inquiry where you mentioned and kind of briefly. So there have been many inquiries during the past 5 or 6 years, but there have been self-appointed inquiries where, by many respect of or judgment of many Salon people, it lack the judicial independence. So therefore, it is kind of influenced politically, or the outcome of whatever then they try to arrive at is influenced politically. And one of such, it don't happen many times. Let me say, going to McKinney, the massacre where it take place there, of course, there was an inquiry, but the inquiry was made up of men loyal to the president who will not tell the president otherwise. The same was true of Pademba Road. And now, with this latest saga about election, we the president, again under pressure, if you they observe, it been there under pressure when he decide for agree, say, well, there will be an independent commission for look into and remedy some of the malfeasance, the malpractices them inside with system. But again, the appointment of the people them way he choose, it raised eyebrows in a certain community, so much so that the US said you cannot employ people of your own for tailor or be independent jurors. It wouldn't work that way. And even inside the country, we not guarantee anybody because the country is so politically polarized that probably we go need an outsider. Yet again, the government cry down on sovereignty, but then forget sovereignty when they bring Bill Belly and others, and the other people then did not cry. I wonder what you take on that, Sekou John, in terms of the inquiry there, where you go pick the vice president, where now you the influence for head the inquiry, whether inquiry there is a kind of a point finger to you, then you go pick your party, say, well, I'm for head the inquiry. Your thoughts, please.
No, yeah. So me, to be honest, like again, I believe say we need people them we like the ambassador be rightly say for do their review, then they check, do this review on national the elections laws, and then check what thing go wrong and what in there. Like again, the vice president, of course, now the vice president, now they all now the beneficiaries of the lack of transparency will take place. So not of us say in any way I dey try for impunge on your own character, say they not get for do the right thing, but at least we just wish like them count people away independent, we not political, we not belong to either APC or SLPP, then come with them and for come lead this process so that we will get the results of the process will be acceptable and will be seen as neutral and objectives. But if not just people them wey belong to that the ruling party, una can say, okay, you head this tier, and now you for can do, now you for can fend, and me and you don't involve. Let's say we don't involve in some misunderstanding. Now that interest force you to seek. So of course, for can't talk Boku say no, they represent na for the interest of the country. Politicians then always they tell we. Then can make like say they elect the country pass you the policy, the individual way they talk. But if they say for check them, where the audit report can come out, we dey see what thing they happen. Where corruption happen, we know say na then can mostly hold. So you dey find out say wetin dem can talk and wetin dem can do is different. So going to it, I believe say like it will be more nice for make we get independent person, individual for head then like then review commission in the or committees where they set for look into then elections waiting don't pass and then the elections laws waiting at the lacunas the lapses waiting them for adjust here and there, then we get independent somebody where they can look into them issues and they of course like for do constitutional review committee of course then they will not need foreigner for can do am for we get Sierra Leoneans the way I believe say credible, but then for be them for represent all shades of opinion of society in the country. But now the sincerity again, we see where an Eskoroma, for example, then come then do constitutional review. We see where then come then do all then pour lot of money inside that process day. So where the body where India and Eskoroma set up that the committee where being get comprised of many Sierra Leoneans dem from all walks of life. So then come, then do the recommendation. We see how they cherry pick. So again, then cherry pick, cut here, put yonder, cut over yonder, what in they want, then throw away what in they not like. But when SLPP come back, okay, if now other people them back we been serious for really say, okay, no, you know what, we want this year for happen. Then been come meet that thing the bulk one been did it. You know mean say way and Skoroma be implement few things. SLPP if them be one, then say if them be really genuine, then no for don't come pick them up from Musai and Skoroma be left say, okay, you know what, we would come do everything. But they say if they can pick and choose what they want. So what are the guarantees say the current constitutional review committee where they go on, what are the guarantees say one, if it go against the interest or the wishes or the desire of the president and other party members, any recommendations where they were get for carry, what are the guarantees say waiting and Eskoroma do matter be no get for do am.
Absolutely, Sekou John. And again, because we quickly run out of time, I want to ask you one final, two last questions. One, I want to take you way back into this conversation from almost the middle part of this conversation. This use of ibi app in trade. I mean, where something happened now, and people in one mention say, well, it happened then. And as you be rightfully say, if I pick you up well, the people of Sierra Leone made a decision in back in April or March of 2018. I hope I get the month correct. When they voted out one government, despite what all people are saying, one government was voted out. Another government promised the people of Sierra Leone a new beginning, a new direction. But as we talk today, this still they play out. We they see a repeat and sometimes to the worst case of waiting not be him happen then is happening now. But when it's raised by people like me and you, the excuse is like, well, una been there. Where Christian top be violate, yeah, Kailan, he raised this. I mean, how do we change the question, I suppose, Seiko? How do we change away from this? Because this now no more will help for them will develop a country other than trading blame games of something that happened 20, 30 years ago. I have a conversation with a young man. I think you remind me of that interview. In fact, no interview, phone call. And then the person they go 40 years back, economic, this, that. How do we go forward from here, Sekou?
Yeah, okay. I just want to bring something interesting thing what I watch then 2 days here. One then comedian guys. Now
Mhm.
I don't forget this. Now salon guy them anyway. Now comedians them. So then guy one of them say he lost money. He lost 30,000 euros. So you see where they cry bitter one. So then in company come meet am, he say wetin you dey cry for? He say well right now the country tranga, I don lost me money, this that. So anyway, he say almost he lost. He say 30,000. Boy bin dey cry really bitter bitter one. So the guy pull him money, he pull 30,000 again. I say okay, hold left for cry. So now the tell me man hold that 30,000, begin cry back. He say okay, if I not been don lost that 30,000 those like so I for don get 60,000, begin cry back. So so dem get all that money back. He begin check calculate the one wey he don lost back. Still he dey cry and tell that other guy say but you na criminal. I don't forget the guy the names there. But na yeah na
We'll open
then
them in the
yeah,
next podcast.
na then salon. But what I dey try for say here is uh one, this attitude of trying for excuses or use the past wrongs for justify the current wrongs, it you no get for take away any side. This na the attitude of we don see for the past 5 years. In fact, even this hardship wey dey happen so, or some difficulties wey dey happen, you dey hear this some man dey say but na way APC no be lay the foundation. But now una don come for the 5 years, for heaven's sake, na im dey ask una wetin una don do, whose changes una don bring. Because dem don punish the war. Some man some minister in host dem bin don seize am. Some man dem bin don take money in hand. Dem don wetin say dem don seize in house. Dem don take certain properties dem from some people dem. So dem don suffer for wetin dem don do. So no forget about that day. Wetin una don do. And e no mean say because dem wey I don do this in the past, una say for can repeat the same thing. For can tell you okay, Christian Atop bin say this and how long we go dey pandandi when APC come back? Una wan back let APC come and do the same thing back. Not so? For can say okay, Kone bin don do this, we say go do this there. How long? So this mentality, so you see any after like okay, wetin dey go on so? Dem begin blame the US, how America they want regime change, EU they want regime change. They not even want follow discourse, but the lack of transparency na the electoral process. So what thing that they tell you is that Sierra Leoneans, most of us, including those in power, they not want for take responsibility. They always lack for shift blame on other people. Now, for heaven's sake, APC ruled for 11 years. Sierra Leoneans have been disgruntled, they're not being appreciated of waiting them in do corruption and other things. Now it make them vote against them 2018. So then don't count to now 5 good years. Una still they blame APC. Why una no they take responsibility of una own failures? So, but because they no want take responsibility, now it make you the hear it. Now, if Kone don't come, Kone na Kone, it not mean say Kone for do what Christian Atop do. Kone na Kone. So when you come, they not appoint you, you get different laws. In fact, the laws them way govern you and the one the way govern Christian Atop are not the same. Then changes don't happen, things then don't happen. And now you see EU or whatever the observer them will be there at that time, then we don't can make recommendations. Where even the president before the elections, people then they go vote. He announced well, he talk about boku recommendations where he incorporates where the EU give. So now why una no dey take responsibility? Why if Kone do something, why una no go take responsibility? Say, okay, we are wrong on this, we not get this and that right. Then una stop for this fool people them and una self. But begin talk about how Christian Atop been don't do this, then they been don't do that. Come on, take responsibility. So now it make most in life. If you want to move forward, you want to go one, you not get for kill yourself where you get something wrong. You not go kill yourself for that. You not go try for what you say yourself, but you learn for take responsibility, and then you learn from that. You do changes for your better future. But for begin hold on, no, now that me mama mate, now this no, now you begin find people there for blame. Or you begin use for compare. Now this make would find it difficult for move ahead because some of una
Yeah,
left
yeah.
just side for because una no wan take responsibility, then una dey try for shift the blame on others, and now try for make like say na how long we go blame Christian at all.
Absolutely. And how many years ago was that? And this now
Yeah.
me point. Let's take John one final question to you. Um, is the issue of Israel and Palestine and then the rest of the world, the international community. Quite recently, we get caught up in that sphere there. So we government, suddenly we hear say we government is preparing or go like for open, if I can better put you know, an embassy in Jerusalem. But person, a lot of us may not understand, yeah, the context of Jerusalem. We get international status. The both sides of the conflict, the Israelis and the Palestinians, and they claim say this is not their future capital. Now, because of that contest day, the United Nations, they in between them and say, okay, this remains a protected status, a protected country or capital or whatever. Nobody actually own them. Because again, if you go open embassy day, it depends on whose behalf you open the embassy. If not on behalf of Israel, because I support them, I go open embassy day, which means that now Israeli them behalf. If I do the same way opposite, now on the Palestinians them behalf. The point I'm trying to make again, Sekou, is recently we government come out with a position paper, position statement, in which they express an intent for go open an embassy in Jerusalem, following after the United States and three other countries. Yet we get our own policy of non-aligned and etc. And it's a policy anyway. I wonder what you make out of this whole thing, because you get family and women they say, it's like say, Mother, you don't feel the pressure. Because when you agree for go Jerusalem, you get they get backing. Then they look after you because it's a big deal. So people and they say maybe he saw this, he knew this, and he tried for capitalize on them so that it go ease the election pressure on them. I'm saying what I heard from people saying. But again, back to you on the platform tonight. This whole thing where I believe say you follow, waiting that you take. And let me find a question to you, by the way.
Okay, thank you. I think interestingly, I do short piece on that because I see where Hamas then issue a statement on the issue, and then I even read where the president na in tweet he talk about the issue, and I see also when the Minister of Information and Civic Education, well, he dey try for okay, he say he dey clarify, he say e no mean say the embassy go dey Jerusalem, but e been clearly written on the president in Twitter page say dem go open the embassy na Jerusalem, and dem get for know say na sensitive thing, like how you say so, no more that non-aligned aligned position wey dem take, like the international community dey tell Israel, because I remember even wey Donald Trump been say for open the embassy, US embassy day, e been generate lot of public outcry. And again, for of course, nobody know the against for lay Sierra Leone and Israel not do any dealings. Than the nobody, but for try for well go open embassy day, I believe say not to a wise decision. And then I believe say again, the mere fact is the Minister of Information, the attempt whether now for well for try say no, they not be say Jerusalem, because they attempt for deny, even though you not make it directly, but you say well, it not necessarily mean say na day it go day. So I believe say them go don't get this idea, or then go don't come to the senses for say no, you know what, for open this embassy na Jerusalem not a good idea. And we get for reverse with decision for do am Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv the other capital cities, then they go open the embassy, nobody no get problem with that. But we say draw the halala no go add petrol on the fire we already dey. We see way no matter what, we see how Israel then they kill innocent people them again. after we then the one they well we it depend on how you look at them, because Israel they see them as terrorists, them say they were they go bomb them people them, but then say they say no, we dey defend we own land. So it depend how you look at them. But we dey see how young comrade in they die, picking in they die, then they keep people the left, right, and center. So what me they try for say here is the government need for be very careful in especially this embassy situation. Then get for really, really be careful with that. For we self we dey experience something. Like in me own article one, right? That short article, I make reference of Yenga. We see Guinea where the bully win a Yenga. Then so the man in the come anytime where they feel like. Then they come do put baking any outside they want for put. We not get mind.
Exactly, Sekou, just a quick one. That is what is referred to as an infringement of the rule. That is territorial infringement. Now, in the abuse your territorial integrity.
Yeah, no,
Continue.
now they say it just start like now. Let's say like how Guinea they can die yenga. Let's say other country can say okay, you know what Guinea they can go open with embassy now on a land, then go na yenga, then sit on. How we go feel? You
Yeah,
understand how we go feel?
yeah.
So draw day. So what you wanna get for do? Wanna just get for really be careful. Then get for really rethink and withdraw certain things. A lot of people in the scene out of desperation. A lot of people and say now out of desperation, now in government they do then announcement here. Maybe them in don't sense say the US maybe want take action, maybe for appease or lot of people then they talk, then they I mean these now insinuations. Then they try for suggest say, oh, okay, now maybe now because of this and that. But that decision they I hope say the president he will come back to a normal state of mind and say, you know what? No, this one, no, because take into consideration, like Yenga, for example. If na Yenga now somebody say, okay, we dey go build embassy na Yenga. We dey go, we dey work with Guinea, we dey blah blah blah, we embassy na Yenga for so say, the how we go feel. So me na that same way the normal one we look at them and then make them withdraw SAFO, even though they don't say they don't withdraw because some man not even want for you talk about them. But we get for talk about become a national issue. So that na my own opinion say lay they not draw am na that Jerusalem day. Them people and they already they don't like how with man they say they have had enough. Beaucoup lives dem don go na that Israel Palestine wetin sef. Lay we
Yeah.
not caught up into that thing. Remember, we dey deal with jihadists and all other people wey dey na that side. So make we just take we time. Lay desperation not force we for do certainty what we not supposed for do. Na make me dey say nothing no wrong for lay Sierra Leone. Make we do wey some man dey holla, the West did this, that. But what is wrong for lay whole for all elections? Una count. Okay, this man don't get this man don't get that. Una count who that win. Simple. It's not end of your life. Not to do or die. Or for say because Christian Atobin don't do this, we said they do this. No. So late desperation will not can make una go do any bad thing we get for affect we in the long run. Do you I mean that no more me they try for say. So
Any last word? Any last word?
yeah, okay. Well, what are they say finally, like again, we really appreciate we viewers. We thank you so much. Well, when I don't share, a lot of people and don't watch the program, and we thank una for that. And then una now we asset, and then we the promise again say we go continue for talk. Of course, what you they talk now, all know the go down well with all man at the same time. It's wrong. Then if you say they do, you not go able to satisfy all man at the same time. But we do best for talk on behalf of the voiceless, and we analyze things them on like from our own perspective based on the facts where they on the ground. We say our opinion and they will profile with your solutions. So now that number I get for tell una this evening 10 and then really okay we in the morning now it can almost to 1 o'clock 1 a.m. So we thank una so much for being with us. Over to you, Prince.
Um, um, yes, indeed. Secretary John, many, many thanks. I think these programs, they're very, very important. We get Sierra Leoneans of every background and shade, I believe, from the names and the conversation at the chat room, which we they encourage and we can make them like interactive. And there's a purpose to doing so. It shows that we've got a cross section of people watching us and participating in with programs. We they encourage people and for express their opinion, feel free to do so. All we they ask for is keep it more respectful. We cannot say more than that we've already said already. I think we've done our best, but mostly what we can left and do is for we people for George we. On this note, I think I would like for end the program here. And if Sekou John not get anything for say, I believe he said the last word. I believe that we will be ending the program for now. Sekou John, advice, do we end the program?
Okay, yeah. So until then, this na Psycho John Barry. They say good night.
Thank you very much.